So I'm going to be calling on our next speaker, who is speaking on blockchain-enabled AI for smart grid optimization in Africa. He is Nnamdi Onuigbo, the researcher from African Researchers Network. Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you very much.
So my name is Nnamdi Onuigbo. I'm a researcher with the African Researchers Network. Primarily, I'm a lecturer, electrical electronics engineering, with a master's in power and sustainable energy. Then I did a dissertation on robotics, which now landed me here. Yeah, so but I have interest in IoTs, Internet of Things, as regards smart grid in Africa. All right, so yeah, you're welcome. We are going to fast about this. Apologies for that in advance. So we are just going to cover just a few things. It's a few slides. We can run through it. The lecturer in me is trying to be fast about it. Okay, so if you are here already, I'm very sure you do know what blockchains are. Yeah, you should, I think. But how do we link blockchain to smart grid? First of all, we start with what are grid systems. We are familiar with Nigerian system when it comes to grid systems where we have grid failures. That can tell you that's because they're not smart. So, but with our smart grid system, what we do is with a smart grid system, what it does is it takes different sources of energy. Primarily, Nigeria only deals predominantly with hydro. Kainji Dam, we are used to it. And then we have companies coming out with solar energy, where they mount it on top of your roof and then you generate electricity from there. But what a smart grid does is it comes in and it takes different sources of energy. So we could have the hydro coming in, we could have the solar coming in, we could have the thermal, we could have the wind from either onshore or offshore. So we could have those ones coming in, and then the grid decides on, well, yeah, of course, we've programmed it to do so. It decides on what best to do with this information. So if we have a couple of houses, and these houses, some are producing electricity from different sources, all this electricity comes into a particular grid, and then this grid channels it to different other houses that probably don't have enough electricity or enough capacity to, I think I'm faster than my slide, have a capacity to produce electricity. So yeah, that's where smart grid comes in. It takes different energy sources and then operates on it. But how does blockchain come in? We already know that how do I go back? Okay, yeah. We already know that blockchain is in the heart of transactions. When you think blockchain, you think crypto mostly. Because when I said I was going to present the paper, someone said, oh, you're having a crypto conference. So yeah, we have that knowledge gap, which is a different topic on its own. So how does the blockchain come in? We know it's decentralized, so we know that we cannot lie to it. It cannot give us false information. So, but with this, we have a system where the blockchain understands that I'm taking, say, for example, I'm going to use 5 watts from this building. I'm taking 5 watts of electricity from this building, and I'm channeling it to maybe a landmark center. So it's been programmed to do that. So at every point that this building generates, say we start from generating with this building say maybe generates about 10, and then it takes the 10, it takes 5 of the 10 to operate, and then it needs to send out the other 5. That's where the blockchain comes in. It tells you, okay, you've generated 5. You generated 6, which means you need to let go of 1. Landmark center receives the 1. But it might not go to landmark center. It goes to whichever houses or whichever establishment, companies, or whatever that is connected to the smart grid, who the smart grid is selling to. So if you have a house and you are generating electricity via solar energy, for example, you could sell to the smart grid. So that by that, you've already reduced the cost of your own electricity. And then you're making profit from what you are generating from nature. So that's where smart grid comes in. It tells us, okay, I take this information from this house. I have a couple of houses, and I have a couple of different energy sources. It operates on it, and then it distributes it to whoever is connected to the smart grid system. Yeah, okay. So it is going to be fast. So that's what the blockchain is going to be doing for us. But then it doesn't stop here because we are living in the time of AI. Yeah, so, and then we need to train a smart grid. It's already smart based on what it has, but it needs to be trained to be able to let us know that there is a problem. Because most times what we have here is we just wake up and we don't have light for 2 weeks, and then we know from the news that the grid failed. But with a smart grid, with a blockchain embedded in a smart grid, it tells this grid that, oh, you are going to fail tomorrow. So it knows that it's going to fail. It knows why it's going to fail. And then it sends in the engineers to fix the problem. Because, it's already been trained to say, oh, if 1 + 1 is not adding up to 2, there is a problem. And then I can only hold this system for another 2 days. So I need to send an alert that something is about to be wrong. So that way we'll be able to fix the problem of our grid before it happens. Either you shut it down or you reduce the load on it. But however it is, that's what some of the advantages of having a smart grid in the system does. I already talked about how AI can come in. By training the model, you are letting us know that, you are letting the model know that you're autonomous on your own. Just give us information so we can operate, we'll make it better so that way we won't have houses going off, lights going off based on energy not working. Yeah. So it is a new concept, but it's not really a new concept. It's not been done in Africa. We have smart cities in Kenya, yeah, and then we have some other ones in around Ethiopia, I think. But we have these systems already working in a couple of countries. We have in Australia. We have another, a couple of countries. We have a lot of countries going through this. So we could actually implement it in this country, starting from where so basically, let me round up. So with blockchain in smart grid, we will not be having power failure as we are having power failure. And we do have abundance of every other sources of energy. And if you are a science student, you will know that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. You can only transmit it. And the very simple one is between potential energy and kinetic energy. Potential, kinetic. So we do know that because we cannot generate it, we transmit it, we know that we have abundance of sun here, we have abundance of wind. So we could easily have 3 sources of energy without even stressing about it. We have the hydro that is already in operational, we have the solar that is constantly there, then we have the wind. We just need to channel that. Now, getting these 3 through an IoT system, we can now have a smart grid system that enables us to, we have the capacity to do this, as a matter of fact. That's what I'm getting at. So we have some challenges, which include some technical. We have to also talk about policy, which will also be a challenge. And then, of course, we have the financial aspect of it, which also is a challenge. But there are so many opportunities that that this slide is not enough to accommodate, because we do have every opportunity to get this. So I belong to a group of researchers, African Researchers Network, where we have people from different African countries, where we research about everything and everything, really. I'm currently the director of research in engineering with African Researchers Network. So you could reach us here. And this is where you could reach me on LinkedIn, should you want to know more about this and what we've done so far and what we plan on doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.